services to help them grow and bloom. The time by Sagicor Bank is 7 o'clock.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, former government minister and attorney Leslie Campbell has died. Hotel worker stabbed to death in St. James. Privacy practitioners welcome cyber crimes changes. Technical modernization of agricultural industry continues. In international news, 3 Ukrainians killed in overnight Russian attacks. And later on in sports, as we shift gears, gold medals for Jamaica at World Athletics Relays Championship. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Sunday, March 3, 2026. I am Curlin Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. And we begin on a somber note. The Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, is mourning the passing of Deputy Treasurer Leslie Campbell. The former government minister and attorney-at-law died Sunday morning after battling an illness. In a statement, JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang lauded Campbell for his distinguished service, noting his significant contributions as a cabinet minister, a state minister, a senator, and a member of parliament for North East St. Catherine. Dr. Chang says Campbell was not only a dedicated servant of party and country, but above all, he was a decent human being who was always willing to lend assistance to a fellow Jamaican. The JLP has extended condolences to his family, his friends and colleagues during this period of bereavement. Meanwhile, the bloodshed continued last week, and among the cases being investigated is the stabbing death of Kadeen Beswick, also called Kay, another St. James woman. Her life was brutally snuffed out on Friday, sending shockwaves and serious concerns throughout the parish. According to police reports, about 12:15 a.m., neighbors heard loud screams coming from the apartment of the 38-year-old hotel worker on Almond Way in Catherine Hall. Checks were made and her body was found on the bedroom floor with several stab wounds. The government is still pushing back against criticisms regarding police accountability with body-worn cameras, insisting its security reforms have strengthened public trust and a contributed drop in crime. Leader of government business in the Senate, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, argued that the administration has invested in body-worn cameras, supported the Independence Commission of Investigations, and achieved significant reduction in homicides, while defending the overall performance of the security forces.
The Prime Minister said it earlier, even again in the year, he confirmed 1,000 purchased and here more in procurement. It is the Jamaica Labour Party administration which established Indicom, and that has supported its establishment with budget and the resources that we need. We believe that it is under this administration that the trust and confidence in our police force has grown substantively. Look at the clear-up rates of the police and look at the clear-up rates of Indicom and ask the question, how do the police solve crimes? They are not given video evidence. They do good police work. They investigate.
The government has moved to justify the creation of the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA, arguing existing systems are too slow to handle large-scale recovery and development projects. During the last parliamentary sitting of the Senate, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon outlined why the new agency is needed and how it will function.
The procurement requirements, the interagency approvals, the fragmentation of responsibility across multiple ministries and agencies, the absence of a single coordinating authority are the structural features of the existing framework that has produced consistent underperformance in capital budget execution. A framework that cannot reliably deliver what is budgeted in normal times cannot be expected to coordinate and execute the post-Melissa reconstruction and resilience building program.
This update now, an attorney at law and a privacy practitioner is welcoming the passage of the Cybercrimes Amendment Act, describing it as a step forward for digital privacy and child protection in Jamaica. But even as the bill cleared the Senate without amendment, questions are now being raised about public awareness, police accountability, and whether the law can keep pace with rapidly evolving technology. Kevin Black reports.
The Cybercrimes Amendment Act has passed the Senate without a single amendment, paving the way for new penalties targeting cybercrimes, the misuse of digital platforms, and the sharing of explicit content online. The updated law creates new offences, including knowingly allowing one's premises to be used for cybercrime and the possession or distribution of hacking tools with criminal intent. Attorney at law and privacy practitioner Chuck Cameron says one of the most important changes is the requirement for the police commissioner to develop a protocol governing how police officers search phones and digital devices.
The legislation now requires the police commissioner to develop a protocol for police officers to follow in conducting searches of computers and mobile devices. The police force now, through this legislation, is now to develop a protocol that police officers will follow.
Cameron also pointed to stronger protections for children under the new law, including tougher penalties for the sharing and the publication of intimate images involving minors.
The law now makes it a criminal offense to publish the information, so no longer is it only an offense to share it with another individual, but when you publish it, the government must mount an extensive public awareness campaign, because it cannot be these innocuous acts or these acts that they may not necessarily appreciate carry criminal sanction.
Meanwhile, questions were also raised about whether the law goes far enough to address rapidly evolving technologies such as artificial intelligence, deepfakes, and synthetic media.
The development of AI is happening so fast. What if they were to legislate this to be an offense, that to be an offense, and between yesterday and today something else came up? There's an appreciation of a thread that binds all these separate pieces of legislation together, and understanding that we live in a complete world. We don't live in silos. So I am happy that the issues are being put on the table at the same time.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
$45 billion Spark Road program is under review at Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, with the National Works Agency defending its cost and execution. We go back to Kevin Black for more.
The government's $45 billion Spark Road Rehabilitation Program is under scrutiny at Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, as officials defend its implementation and cost structure. The program, managed by the National Works Agency, is said to be the largest road infrastructure investment in Jamaica's history, targeting hundreds of roads across the island over a 2-year period. Chief Executive Officer of the National Works Agency, Everton Hunter, told the committee on Wednesday the program is designed to fully reconstruct roads to engineering standards, not simply patch them.
Spark is not a patching program. It is a construction program to deliver roads to a particular standard that will give us a life of 10, 12, 15 years. The Spark program, particularly on the main road component, will include, well, both components include water supply, and the main road component will also have water supply as well as fiber optic ducts for the fiber optic backbone infrastructure to be constructed.
Hunter also defended the structure of the program, emphasizing that the government deals directly with the main contractor and not subcontractors.
The contract is between Czech and the government of Jamaica through the permanent secretary representing the government of Jamaica. So those are the parties to the contract. The NWA, the CEO of the NWA is the engineer on the contract. That's me. I'm not a party to the contract. So we look to the main contractor to undertake the works. It's entirely at his gift. And we look to the main contractor to remedy any defects.
Meanwhile, members of parliament raised concerns about community expectations and labour practices, including claims that many workers across the island are being paid below minimum wage by contractors. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development, Arlene Williams, says any such case must be formally reported for investigation.
And you're aware of persons being offered people being below. Well, that would be against the law.
I just want to say, Member of Parliament, where there are specific instances, we would want that. Well, as the owner of the contract, on behalf of the government, I certainly would want to be aware of those specific cases so that we can take that up with the contractor.
Kevin Black for CVM News.
And Parliament's Standing Orders Committee is reviewing proposed changes to the rules governing private bills amid concerns about how objections are raised and whether promoters have adequate rights to participate in the process.
Standing Orders Committee are moving to strengthen the rules governing private bills, with focus turning to how objections are raised and whether promoters should have a guaranteed right to appear before special select committees. During Friday's meeting, committee members reviewed proposed changes to Standing Order 82, which sets out the procedures for private bills in Parliament. Legislative Counsel Ashley Zimenez explained that Jamaica's current system does not provide a formal process for objectors to participate before a bill is tabled.
What we do not have is a document that deals with objections. The difference with our parliamentary system and that of the UK, which we often get guidance, is that the UK system actually have a private bill office. So just as well as you'd receive the petition within a number of days, there is also an expectation that you'd receive objections within a number of days before it is that the private bill is tabled.
The committee also examined whether promoters of private bills should have their rights more clearly protected under the standing orders. Deputy President of the Senate, Charles Sinclair, raised concerns that the current rules only apply that promoters may participate without expressly stating their right to attend or defend a bill.
If you look back at 82.3, it refers to a private bill shall be introduced by a member only. A, on petition from the promoters stating the objects and reasons. So the standing orders recognizes promoters and it speaks to promoters.
Zimenez agreed that clearer wording could strengthen the rights of promoters and improve the interpretation of the standing orders.
I would not disagree with it, because if it is that it is framed that way in the standing orders, it provides a right and not a discretion.
Right, exactly.
So it aids further protection for the promoters, even though what is here is implied. It's not expressed. It's implied that for the committee to be able to do its job, it would require proof, and that proof can only come from the promoter.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Now, when the Public Education Campaign for Estate Planning launched policy development strategies for alternative dispute resolution at the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs recently, stakeholders say over the next months they aspire to spread the initiative in order to create a Jamaica that's secure, cohesive, where citizens can depend on fair, responsive and effective systems. With more, here's Crystal Williams.
Alternative Dispute Resolution, ADR, is also referred to in Singapore as appropriate dispute resolution, meant to offer a different path towards timely, accessible, people-centered solutions. At the launch of the ADR Policy Development and Estate Planning Public Education Campaign, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Delroy Chuck, declared that mediation, arbitration, restorative justice, negotiation, adjudication, and conciliation with respect to the ADR policy will allow individuals, families, and businesses to resolve disputes faster and more amicably without the cost and complexity of court proceedings. He says this policy supports a cultural shift.
From one where conflict often escalates into confrontation or even violence, to one where dialogue, understanding, and resolution are the norm. We know that many serious crimes begin as simple disagreements. If we can intervene early, if we can equip our citizens with accessible and trusted mechanisms to resolve disputes, we can reduce escalation, strengthen social cohesion, and build safer communities.
According to Minister Chuck, Jamaica is on the right path in terms of reducing crime and violence levels. He is hoping that the trajectory continues and targets 150 fewer murders than last year by May.
Over the past few years, 2023, murder, which is a good measure of what is happening in terms of crime and violence in Jamaica, went down by 9%. In 2024, 19%. Last year, we went down by 42%. I don't know what the percentage will be this year, but we are really hoping it will be high, close to 50%.
Too often, families are left in uncertainty, conflict, or financial hardship simply because proper estate planning was not undertaken. This is why the minister says policy development is crucial, with both estate planning and ADR seeking to quash disputes of this nature before they potentially escalate towards violence.
And as you know, nothing causes more disputes than deadlift. Not only disputes, but violence. The killing in St. James appear to come because they're fighting over deadlift. And I hope the killer and the families will not benefit from the death of this lady. Just for a piece of property, you're going to take life? It's not worth it.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
No matter what happens in life, we have to eat. Well, with that established, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining and the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, want to not only invest in restoring the livelihood of over 70,000 farmers impacted by Hurricane Melissa, but help them to better prepare for future climate shocks. We go back to Crystal Williams for that report.
The recovery effort of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, in collaboration with the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, is a catalyst for a high-tech, high-yield and high-impact agricultural future. The Ministry of Agriculture has also partnered with the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, to combat predial larceny through the establishment of a 111-officer-strong agricultural protection branch. As the Agriculture Minister Floyd Green reports a 174% increase in predial larceny arrests, he reiterates the penalties to be faced.
It used to be a maximum penalty of $250,000 for the predial larceny crimes. I said that don't make no sense. And we moved that to $3 million. It used to be that for a number of the parental loss, the offense is the maximum time that somebody could get in prison was 6 months. We said that don't make no sense. We moved that to 3 years.
With the purchase of 4 brand new drones, RADA is leveraging the use of technology to reduce physical burden on farmers and increase the precision of their invention. Minister Green says processes that used to take multiple days and multiple people will now take minutes.
Some of the drones that we have bought are also able to capture data and to tell you what is happening with your soil, so that instead of using the fertilizer that you always use, that you might be spending a lot of money and wasting the resources, we can say to you, this is the nutrition regime that your plants need.
The legislator says while laws alone cannot do all the work, there is no doubt the ministry has more to do. He encouraged farmers to understand that recovery is a process.
It is going to take us some time. But I want to assure the farmers who may have not received some support as yet, that help is on its way. Every parish now got included in everything. Right? Because listen now, remember how the hurricane go. It walked everywhere, but it walked someplace worse. So, some who suffer little damage and can bounce back have to allow us to work with who suffer total damage and can't bounce back. Because we're in this thing together, not true?
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Stay with us for more here on CVM News at 7 in just a moment.
Take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
I'm me and the stylist, no scam and style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress. You charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.
Tonight, on Small Biz, Big Dreams, we meet Deli, a barber who provides sharp fades that enlighten dark days. This is Small Biz, Big Dreams. For the past 15 years, Delroy Deli Scott has been operating out of Little Premier Plaza in Halfway Tree, offering haircuts to a steady stream of workers, students, and commuters passing through the area. In a space where competition is high, Deli says reliability, skill, and how you treat people are what keep customers coming back.
Well, from a longer time, I have a love for barbering. So back then, when I was like 16-year-old, I got a shirt from my brother, and I say, hey, it's like a miracle. So I'm gonna just start do some haircuts. So from then, it all started. It's a skill we're growing over the years. So I just have a natural love for barbering. So I've been from then, I just have a love for barbering, doing barbering.
Deli says barbering is more than just a trade. It's a daily commitment to professionalism. From maintaining clean tools to staying up to date with styles and techniques, he believes consistency is the foundation of a successful small business.
Modern hairstyle, most youngsters would like the eye top, so we have to do like the modern hairstyle, foot, like mohawk, you name it. For females as well, designs, eyebrows, yeah. So for males and females, yeah. I want to come to the barber shop because release a little stress, just a laugh and all of that. So we like family, we go into friends, friends, close family. It's like a family sentence.
Beyond the chair, Deli says his work plays a critical role in supporting his family, paying bills, and investing in the future. He hopes his journey shows young people that skill-based businesses, when taken seriously, can provide stability and pride.
It's a good feeling to know that if you get up in the morning and you don't feel like come out, yeah, that's you don't come out. So yeah, it's good to be your own entrepreneur. So I have a love for it, just work hard towards it. It will go, you will succeed. It will pay that. Definitely.
Next week, we meet another entrepreneur who has some blessings, but we'll conjure some more. Hey! Until then, for Small Biz, Big Dreams, I'm Kevin Black.
Welcome back. Time now for regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, is once again sending a warning to those persons who are continuing to engage in criminal activities. The details from TTT News.
And I told them, I said, the government of the day is in full support of your efforts in this fight, especially where in Central Division there's home invasion taking place. I told them, I said, listen, we are prepared to support you. Once you are guided by your use of force policy when taking your actions, the government, the ministry will support your efforts. Bringing those persons, whether by ways of the mortuary, the Forensic Science Center, or an identification parade.
Minister Alexander urged citizens to think about those persons who are victims at the hands of the criminal elements.
And on the international scene, across Ukraine, at least 3 people were killed in overnight Russian attacks. We hear more from France 24.
Firefighters worked through the night in Odessa after deadly Russian strikes rained down on the Ukrainian port city. Multiple residential buildings were damaged. Locals made what repairs they could in the morning.
I'm cleaning up the glass inside the house. They're going to board up the windows, so it'll be dark and I won't be able to see anything. Everything's been destroyed. There's nothing left.
Strikes also caused damage here in Kyiv. And a bus carrying 40 school children was damaged in a drone strike near Dnipro. The children left the vehicle just in time. One of them was injured.
The kids had just gone out when the drone came flying over us. I thought it would pass by.
I didn't have time to get down. I was thrown all the way across the road. And the drone crashed and smashed everything we had.
Meanwhile, Ukraine launched over 300 drones at Russia overnight, targeting critical infrastructure in the Leningrad, Moscow, and Smolensk regions.
That's it for regional and international news. I'm Kevin.